Hello, this is Jeff from Leathercraft. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the 3795-00 Deluxe Leather Splitter. This is a tool that's great for anyone who's into leather crafting, and in this review I'll break down my experience using it, including what I like and what could be better, and whether or not it is worth your money. Before we jump in, I just want to make it clear that this is not a sponsored review. I bought this splitter with my own money, so as usual, you will always get a complete unbiased take on it. Plus, this splitter is sold at a lot of the major retail leather crafting stores, but I was able to find an excellent deal on the same item at Amazon, and that I'll talk about later in this video, so stick around. Alright, so let's start with unboxing this thing. Straight out of the box, the 3795-00 Leather Splitter feels like a solid piece of equipment. It's made of stainless steel, which gives it a heavy-duty feel, and it's clear that it's designed to last. You've got this sturdy hand crank mechanism, and everything feels well put together. The splitter comes with all the necessary tools to make adjustments to the machine when necessary, and also to remove the blade for when you have the desire to go ahead and sharpen it. On further inspection, I came to the realization that the knob that is created in order to tighten the mechanism to keep the blade in place was shattered, and I thought all was at ruin at that point, but it turned out that whoever went ahead and packaged this realized that it was broken, and instead of removing it, they just simply put another one inside the box. So I was able to use this one. And I did check to see if I was supposed to get two, and according to the contents of the box, I was only meant to get one. So I went from thinking that I'm not going to be able to use this thing at all to, oh great, thank goodness someone thought about fixing this situation. I was still slightly concerned because obviously the knob was made what seems like some sort of graphite that apparently can shatter, so be careful. There's the other end of the knob right there. So you'll see I'm going to remove that and go ahead and put on the new knob. But I'm not going to make you sit through that whole ordeal. Perhaps I'll just speed up the video so you could see me do it, but without having to sit through the whole entire thing. There we go. Simple enough. Now the splitter does have screw mount areas. They have holes in it. You can mount it to your desk if you want. I'm limited on space and I haven't really found the perfect place I want to keep it, so I went ahead and used these clamps, and the clamps work fine. You just want to tighten them down and make sure the device is secure, and then you can tug on it to make sure it's on right. The mechanism is very simple to use. In order to raise or lower the blade, you just turn this knob. There's one on each side. You make them equal. And then you go ahead and turn the locking bolt, and everything is secure and the blade is where you want it to be. And once the blade is where you want it to be, you have this knob to push the cylinder on which your leather is lying on top of closer to the blade. As you see, as I push the lever, the cylinder gets closer to the blade. Now you could do this to create like a ramp effect when you go ahead and cut your leather, or you could push the lever all the way forward and then use this knob to go ahead and lock the blade in. That way when you go ahead and split your leather, it's all at one particular depth. When you need to sharpen the blade, you just go ahead and remove these two bolts, which are used with the Allen wrench that comes with it, and you go ahead and sharpen your blade. This is a piece of about 8-ounce leather. I went ahead and I'm not sure how far I brought it down. I think about 4 ounces. And as you see, I'm pushing the handle as I pull back. This way it actually creates a gradual descent into 4 ounces. And once I found that sweet spot, like where I couldn't push it down any further, I went ahead and tightened the blade with the knob, and then I'll go ahead and continue pulling on the leather because now the blade's going to stay at that particular setting. This leather was pretty stiff, so I was surprised how well it went through. I did have to pull pretty hard though. And there you go. You can see the difference in the thickness between one side and the other. It worked really well. And that was one of the first times I used it. It might even actually have been the first time. Here's another piece of 8-9 ounce leather. And I went ahead and split it. This one went pretty smooth. I felt my technique was getting a little better with the machine. And you see I was able to bring this one down to, I believe, 2 3-ounce. There you go. And you can tell how thick it was right there compared to how thin I made it. At this point, I realize this thing works pretty well. Here's another example of how well this machine was working for me. I'll go ahead and take this piece of leather and I'll split it down to pretty thin. This would be like if you were doing an end of a strap and you wanted to fold it inward. You can see how thin that got. Here, I'll hold the other piece up to it so you can see actually what was taken off of it. See how it's on an angle? You can set it to do that by just pushing the handle slowly. This is a piece of nice sturdy buffalo. This was about 6-7 ounces, and I needed to bring it down because I was going to use it as a gusset for one of the pouches that I make. And it just ran through there really smoothly. And it cut it so well that the piece that came off could actually be used for something as well. As soon as I finish pulling this through, I'll show you. While I was pulling this one, unfortunately, I was kind of leaning to the left, so it pulled to the side. So I just kind of adjusted as I finished it, and I wanted to be a little delicate once I reached the end. But it came out really well. In fact, I've been using a different leather for the gusset because this was too thick. And it occurred to me, I have a splitter. Let's go ahead and use it for this purpose. And it worked really well. Look how nice that came out. The actual piece that I split off of it is functional. Overall, I was happy with this device. After my technique improved, I was able to get even splits without any tearing or rough edges, which is key if you're making things like straps and belts. The blade is 6 inches long, so you can do small wallets, but keep in mind to cut your leather a little longer because you're going to have to pull on it. So split your leather first and then cut out the pattern. In terms of ease of use, it's pretty straightforward. The hand crank mechanism gives you a lot of control over the speed and pressure. I didn't have any major issues while working, but I will say the blade does need sharpening from time to time to maintain top performance. That's not really a huge deal for me, but it's something to keep in mind if you plan on using it regularly. But you already know this. Any blade needs to be sharpened. I myself am new to sharpening this particular type of blade. But if you do a little surfing on YouTube, you'll find that there are people that have put out pretty competent videos about sharpening blades that have to do with splitters. So I'm not really too concerned about that. And it'll be a new skill that I'm looking forward to learning. Okay, let's talk a little bit about pricing. Here I'm on the Tandy site right now, and you see at this very moment, it is sold out. If you notice, it's the same exact machine. They want $399.99 for it. So that's the Tandy price. Here we are at Buckle Guy's website, and it is considered the BG manual leather splitter and skiving machine, and he wants $320 for it. If you notice, once again, it's the same exact machine. This is the one that I decided to get. If you notice, it's the same exact machine. And on this page on Amazon, they want $159.99. It's the Tech 6-inch DIY leather skiver, peeler, splitter, shovel skin skiving, paring, peeling machine. And they're not the only one that sells it on Amazon, at least at the time I purchased it. But I decided to go with this company. Their fake spot reviews were accurate. If you notice, it got an A+. The reviews on the machine itself were not fantastic, but you got to remember that some people know how to use this thing and some people do not how to use this thing. Either way, it's the same machine. So if you're looking for this particular item, I'm just simply sharing with you that I had success with it, and it's also a lot less expensive than if you were going to get it at one of the main retailer stores. Well, that's it. That was the whole video. Pretty much just trying to display how this thing works and that you can get a good deal on it if you're looking for one. I did set up an affiliate link. It's in the description of this video. So if you plan on buying one of these things and you'd like to support this channel, I would truly appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video and supporting the channel. And let's all just be really good to each other. Everyone likes kindness. Let's just be friendly to each other, and this planet will definitely start improving as far as the psychology. The whole psychology of our planet will improve if we're nice to each other. Take care.